What's up, my friends? Keith Allen ready to take you through another day of action at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Let's head right out to the Mines Resort for wakeboarding. Conditions are absolutely perfect here at the Mines Resort. Another round of wakeboarding. Heat number 3, round 1 underway. Top 6 will advance into the semifinal round. You got to make the cut if you want a chance to go for that gold medal. Get that invitation to X Games 10 in LA. Amos Boone out of Singapore, 31 years old, first off the dock in heat number 3. First guy off the dock, setting the benchmark for scoring for the rest of the heat.
Starting off with a signature Rayleigh.
Back to the toe side, getting chucked across the wake.
So he gets good pop off the first trick, but watch the second trick coming in. Just not enough air to be pulling that off that second wake. Cases it, goes down hard.
All right, nothing noteworthy in the rest of pass number 1, so we go to pass number 2.
Usually when you get a fall on that first pass, you end up rushing tricks a little bit. You see him almost casing the second wake. That's a sign that he's not getting the edge into the wake that's needed. Maybe not used to this big wake. There's the Crow, does a decent job of getting around, but look, just into the second wake, pulls him off balance.
Amos Boone, 8.34. That is a dreadfully low score. That's going to mean we see super low scores in the rest of the heat, and it's going to be a tough day for Amos. Keijiro Tokuhara out of Japan. Wow.
Oh, huge 911, gets the grab on.
Dumping it so far out the back, off axis, a backside 360, back to the heel side. Oh, spinning in the opposite direction, gets kind of off axis and loses his presence. Can't get the board back underneath him.
Showing us that he's got spins both ways, though. If he'd have landed that, he would have been in a good position with the judges.
Back to the heel side and pass number 2, loading up that line. Big old Indy tantrum, holding the grab all the way through the trick. Judges like to see you hold on to that rail, not just slap it.
Well, he's getting good pop off the wake, no doubt. This wake must be gnarly.
Back to the heel side. Missing his grab, but staying in the rhythm of his pass here.
We talk so much about that grab, Keith. It is so vital that you get a good off-the-wake pump. Look, he's just not quite getting the grab on. Usually right off the wake when you look at that, he is getting a slap. The judges definitely want to see a little longer grab.
Well, 23.67 puts him in first place. So as it stands, Tokuhara up on top of that leaderboard, Amos Boone in second, Yunus in third place. So big names still to ride, including Super 10 and Bunyalo Jumrong, the defending champion, my man Lota out of Thailand. Round 1, heat 3 continues when we come back to the Mines Resort. Welcome back to the Mines Resort, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We are in heat 3 of round 1 of our wakeboarding competition. Here's Scotty Broom out of Australia, 19 years old. Another Aussie rookie we're seeing on the Pro Tour. He and Dean Smith, who we saw ride earlier, great friends, and both of these guys with a chance to take home a medal from this competition.
First time we've seen him here at Asian X Games. See how he'll fare against his Aussie counterpart later on in the competition. There's a Tootsie Roll.
Well, in the wakeboard world, Scotty Broom is a tall glass of water. All the guys on the dock teasing him. Dude, are you sure you're not a skier?
One of the larger competitors. I think he's definitely over 6 feet tall.
Well, he's definitely proven he is full 100% wakeboarder right here, because Scotty Broom definitely threw it down here in pass number 1.
Look, he's got that pendulum effect to his riding. This is definitely rhythm. Once again, the judges like to see a little rhythm in the ride.
Well, doing everything so smooth, no drama, getting set for each trick. Perfect execution of the whirly bird, gets back on his heels a little bit to edge away from that wake to keep it clean. Wow. Coming up short to get across the wake. Judges want to see it, take it out to the flats, but at least he's landing those tricks and riding out.
Yeah, this kid's getting ready for the Pro Tour, no question about it.
Yeah, he and Dean Smith planning on taking a bid at the U.S. Tour this season.
Had heaps of fun out there. It was sort of different formats of what I'm used to back home in Australia. We've had a lot of sliders and a lot of apparatus to use. now it's solely wake, so you've just got to make sure you're up and all that sort of thing and keep it going, keep it flowing.
Keeping it flowing and keeping it real. Tan Sutra out of Singapore, 32 years old, one of the older guys out here, and always good to see this guy going for it. Opens up with a huge rally way out into the flats.
Suter's always one of those guys who cuts out so far outside the wake. He loves the speed coming in big time.
Takes a big edge into every wake. Pops that one up, checks it, and maybe he's not comfortable checking the wake like that. Maybe he just needs to be on that edge and take a huge rail into it every time.
No question he comes into it hard. Watch him right here. He comes around a little bit shy, just loses the handle.
Well, it looked like he was coming into that originally on a hard edge and then realized he needed to check it up a little bit and maybe checked it up a little too much. Pass number 2.
That's more of the Suter we've seen before.
Back on the toe side, missing the grab and everything else he was looking for right there, getting a little sloppy.
That's a Hail Mary 911 he threw there. Got a little half cab, coming all the way around, backside roll.
And Sutra Tan, 18.01, puts him in 3rd place. In round 1, heat 3, Scotty Broom on top of that leaderboard. Japan's Tokahara in 2nd, Yunos Yusop in the number 5 spot. 2 riders till to come, Masato Takaiwa out of Japan, and Round 1, Heat 3 continues from the beautiful Mines Resort, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where we are narrowing the field in our wakeboard competition. Scotty Broom on top of that leaderboard, the young Australian. Japan's Masato Takaiwa looking for one of those top 6 spots. Bunyalo Jumrong out of Thailand also still to ride, the defending gold medal champion. Flashing back to 2003, Masato definitely laying some style down. As always, the Japanese riders definitely progressing the sport through Asia.
Bringing up a 2003 third place. Not quite enough to get to the game, but definitely a good performance.
Well, Masato Takaiwa had a great ride last year, a field that was void of Australians, which maybe opened some doors for some of the Asian riders, but this year, they're stepping it up. Masato opens up with his whirlybird, says, I'm bringing game, bringing my A game this year.
Good technical move to start off with, almost catches that second wake. That could have been the end of a beginning of a good pass.
Well, he gets it right back under him, spinning clean. The 360 gets a solid grab on it. Now spinning 5 in the opposite direction, checks it and can't hang on.
Just got his weight a little bit back on that one, had a little tough time. Watch too early though. Good move to start off with, well out into the flats. Right here, casing that second wake, he almost goes down. And look at this, he's out.
Pass number 2 for Masato Takaiwa on the heel side. Wow, big over the top. Gets a nice grab on the rail. Back to the toe side.
Doing a good job of boarding back to the handle. Getting away, getting the angle to the wake, and on the landing, coming back to that handle.
A little sloppy on the front to Fakey, but still rides out of it. Oh, and completely taken out of his rhythm. The edge slides out, and he kisses the wake.
Had a couple of sketchy moves on this pass. Unfortunately, this one going down hard. That's what they call a yard sale.
Masato Takaiwa, 24.81, had some good style in there. Sitting in second place, Bunyalo Jumrong out of Thailand. This guy has really been progressing over the years. Took home the gold medal last year, and Lota is a rider that comes out aggressive. Flashing back to last year's ride, the gold medal run, Bunyalo Jumrong laid it all out on the line. It was between him and Jeff Weatherall, the Kiwi, and Lota would not be denied. The rain was coming down, and Bunyalo knew he had to dig deep and take his tricks as big as he possibly could.
Bunyalo definitely stoked at that pass.
The judges were too. A look at his whirlybird casing the wake just a little bit, but he came back with big off-axis spins. And now to 2004. Look at the edge he takes into this first trick. Big S-bend to open it up. Lota wants to impress these judges right out of the gates. A lot of flash, taking his tricks big. They're going to try and carry that style all the way through. Oh, did you see how hard he hooked that front nose?
He started so good, getting the glide there, right back into the first pass.
Well, 2 falls allowed, and Lota, after taking that first hard fall, gets right back into his game. There's a look at the S-bend he opened up with, feeling comfortable, thinking he's going to start out great. Hooked, pretty much submarine the whole front end of his board and had a nasty face plant.
Luckily coming back and getting some good tricks in that first pass.
Getting some redemption here in pass number 2. Bunyalo Jumrong on the toe side, taking his tricks as large as possible, as always. Way off axis, out the back and into the flats.
Doing a good job of really getting outside that weight, cutting in hard. See the 540.
Does that super clean on axis, old school style. Whoa!
He is so far out the back. That was some serious air. What a beautiful job all the way around for Lota.
First, when I started, I feel a little bit nervous. And I take really good form. And after I get up, just try to do like sample trick and stand-up run. And hopefully doing better tomorrow. It's the last trick is called 313. It's like aerially with 360. It's great, feels good.
Well, that 313 wasn't the 313 he was looking for, but he somehow managed to pull that one out. Lota moving into second place with 29.56 points. He's well inside the cut, has another chance at going for another gold medal. Rounding out your top six, it's Amos Boone out of Singapore. Hey, stick around because we're coming back with a whole lot more action from Putra Stadium. Our Flatland prelims coming up next from the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Welcome back to Stadium Putra, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for our Junior X Flatland Best Trick Competition. Junior X Games presented by Toyota. Muhammad Ibrahim bin Kamarudin from Malaysia, 13 years old, qualifying through the KL Asian X Tour.
Flatland's such a difficult sport. These guys practice so many hours a day on even a single trick. They'll spend 8 or 9 hours a day just trying to perfect one.
Kujan Asiraf bin Ayab, also from Malaysia, 14 years old.
All the Malaysian competitors coming on so strong, progressing so quickly. Lots of new moves we've seen this year out of all the Malaysian riders.
This used to be a discipline dominated by the Japanese in Asia, and these Malaysian riders definitely stepping up. Noor taking his bid in the best trick finals right here.
The goal of this competition is to put down your very best trick for the judges, and there's no time limit, but you only get one shot, which is usually about 30 seconds or so, to try to put your best move down.
And Muhammad Ibrahim bin Kamarudin takes the gold, silver to Noor Muhammad Nurul, and Pijan taking the silver. It's a sweep for the Malaysian Flatlanders. Now to our Junior X Bike Stunt Park Best Trick Competition. Roll the course, pick your favorite obstacle, throw down your best trick. Percaya Aimzard out of Thailand.
Headed towards the box jump. Guys usually using this obstacle for their hardest move, and he does a suicide no-hander, taking both hands off the bars.
Shariman Rushdie, Malaysia's favorite BMX son. This kid has been so dominant in all the Junior X BMX disciplines.
Almost always winning any competition he enters, and he's got a lot of difficult moves. Nice fresh one right there.
Tamampong Kuntong out of Thailand, 14 years old, qualified at the Bangkok Asian X Tour.
And that wasn't his trick, dropping in on that big sub box, but this is it right here. Pretty difficult just to drop in, but pretty nice move.
And Shariman takes home another gold medal for Malaysia. Percaya Aimzard out of Thailand takes silver, and Thailand's Tanampong taking home the bronze. Now to the main X, our flatland prelims. These are the big boys stepping it up, and we got to narrow this field down to the top 10 to go to the final, Steve.
Pros coming up. We have over 30 competitors in the field today. True international field.
Changgang Li out of Taipei. Some highlights from his run.
As many tricks as you can fit in within the allotted time limit. Obviously, you don't want to touch down. Creativity and difficulty always play in the judges' score.
Zailin Ping, 65 points even. Puts him in 18th. Top 10 will go through to the finals.
So difficult to make it into the final. All these riders practicing 8-9 hours a day to get to this level. Got to put it all down in front of this awesome crowd here at Asia X.
Tan Buchin out of China, 61 1/4, puts him in 21st place.
See on the front wheel in a circle, coasting, just perfect balance. Great execution on that trick.
Each rider getting 1 2-minute run in the prelims, scored on a 100-point scale, top 10 advance. A lot more technical than that, though, when it comes to scoring, Steve.
Absolutely, the judges have one of the toughest jobs out here, trying to score all these riders, and it's very, very close competition.
Shinichiro Hara out of Japan, 27 years old, from Tokyo.
Really, the strategy is just to try to make it into the final, then maybe put a couple more difficult moves into your final run to try to get onto the podium. But again, you're going against all these guys, they're so close in skill level. Got to put it all down. This is a nice multiple tail whip maneuver. He rolls it out and pulls it clean.
I think it's the Japanese Steingraber.
Yeah, referring to German champion Michael Steingraber.
They got the same haircut. Shinichiro also riding hard, 76 points even, puts him in first place. Muhammad Fauzi bin Muhammad Saleh out of Malaysia. These Malaysian riders been doing so well out here all week.
Really have. You can see the improvement year to year, progressing so fast. Lots of difficult moves right here on the front wheel. Another switch, so difficult. Anytime you see these guys make a switch in their foot position, increase the difficulty by quite a bit. The longer you stay on one wheel, the harder the whole combination gets also, and the higher the score.
And judges looking to see you link as many tricks together as possible without touching your feet to the ground.
Nice little stall. That would be considered a save. Won't get counted off for it, but doesn't put his foot down, and definitely a good run.
Muhammad Fauzi, 75 points even, puts him in second place. Stoked, Simon O'Brien, defending gold medal champion.
From Asia X last year, and also the main X Games champion from 2003 also. This guy came and blew everybody away at Asia X last year and at the X Games in LA. Definitely one of the top riders in the world. You can see why right there. All kinds of hard tricks every time he puts something down.
But Simon's still not really looking like his usual self.
Spend a lot of time away from comps after the season, and you get, not as used to it. So, it's a bit nerve-wracking beginning again. So, but I get used to it.
Well, he may have been nervous, but he's currently sitting in first place. Mohammed Hezlan out of Malaysia, placing his bid at one of those top 10 spots.
On the pedal here in a circle, another switch. Again, anytime you see a rider make a switch in their foot position, very difficult to do. Multiple positions on the bike and coasting on the back wheel in a circle, backwards on the bike. High degree of difficulty, and rides that one out with an original ride out.
Nice. Some crazy high-speed footwork. And Mohammed Hezlan moves into second place with 78 points even. Kwon Teong Tak out of Korea, 19 years old, out of Seoul.
Riding his bike with no brakes. Changes your riding style quite a bit. You have to use your foot to really control the bike. Scuff the wheel instead of using your brake. Nice ride out, little bar flip.
Riding brakeless is certainly something the judges have to notice.
Doesn't necessarily make it more difficult to ride, but it just changes your style more or less.
I guess it depends on the trick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Quan ends up with 70.5 points. That puts him safely in 5th place. Simon O'Brien holding on to the #1 spot with 81.25. Mohamed Heslan in 2nd. Sini Shirohara out of Japan in 3rd. Mohamed Fauzi out of Malaysia in 4th. And Quan in 5th. Still to come, some high-flying vertical action from the skateboard vert finals. And when we come back, more from the dance floor with our bike stunt flatland prelims at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Welcome back to Stadium Putra, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for our flatland prelims. A huge field of 30-plus riders, but only room for 10 in the final. Malaysia's Mohamed Reza ready to ride, took 9th place last year, made the top 10 this year. He'd like to step it up, see if he can get to that podium.
Absolutely has. Got all of his moves dialed in. You can tell he's really been practicing a run for this major competition. Really smooth rider, trying to throw a switch in here, I believe, switching his feet.
You gotta watch for all those subtle little switches. There's one right there. And the judge is certainly in tune to that. Makes things that much more difficult when you're doing it from your opposite foot that you're comfortable doing it on.
Nice bar flip right there. Putting down a nice flawless run, and there's the buzzer, but he's allowed to finish this last trick. And does. Nice run.
I'm very proud because it's our country and support from the youth. I see all the youth come here support the Malaysian team.
Kritsara Pratuma out of Thailand qualified through the Bangkok X Tour.
Really dialed, flowing, energetic style. You can see coasting around on the back wheel here, running, setting up for something. Straight to the front wheel, couldn't hang on to it, but didn't put a foot down either. There he goes, gets it on the 2nd try.
Well, Kritsara actually took a gold medal at the Bangkok X Tour last year to qualify for this event.
And again, the goal is to make it out of prelims into the 10 final positions to make it into the finals.
73.25 puts him in 5th place. Hopefully he'll be able to hang on to that. Kotaro Tanaka out of Japan.
This guy's got a really high-speed riding style, lots of original moves. Judges definitely take that into consideration. Up and over the bike. And look at how fast he's rolling. So hard to keep your balance already, plus you add in that extra speed. Just the way he likes to ride.
Kotaro's been on the podium before at the Asian X. He'd love to revisit it, but first has to make it through to the finals.
Lots of switches, lots of high-speed moves like that one. Wow, 3 switches right there. Just a little dab. They won't count off too much for that. Last trick. He's allowed to pull his last trick off after the buzzer.
Yeah.
Nice little original finish.
Kotaro, 86 points even, puts him in 1st place. Ryoji Yamamoto, 26 years old, also no stranger to the Asian X.
Love to watch this guy ride. All the Japanese competitors have been at the top of the flatland. Real innovation, and probably about the past 4 or 5 years. They've come on so strong. They all ride together. Lots of original stuff coming from the Japanese riders.
Well, Ryoji has actually podiumed here at the Asian X a couple of times. Took 4th place in LA last year at X Games 9.
Definitely one of the most dialed competitors. You can see playing to the crowd a little bit there.
You know, I think that helps too, man. You don't typically see that much personality out of your flatland riders. Most of them are more the introverted guys who are riding by themselves. Great to see Ryoji having some fun with the crowd. He's now sitting up in 1st place. York Uno out of Japan. This guy is a flatland machine.
Absolutely is. This guy's been competing for a long time. Almost always a threat to the podium. He's always way up there, but he rides with no brakes, and every now and then he just makes a couple mistakes and it ruins his whole run, but he really has some of the most difficult tricks in the sport. On the front wheel, and again, just completely using his feet. No brakes at all on his bike, all balance. In a circle, multiple switches, and rides that one out clean.
So smooth.
Gyrating the bike, using his momentum and pumping the bike around to maintain his speed. And he pulls it out right at the buzzer. That is an awesome run for York.
80 points even puts him in 4th place. That is well inside the bracket. Ryoji Yamamoto on top of the leaderboard with 87.5. Kentaro Tanaka in 2nd. Simon O'Brien in 3rd. Rounded out your top 10. Mohamed Reza and Kwansin Jack. All right, it's go time for the skateboard vert finals. The field is set. Let's hear from those skaters, see if we can hear about their strategies.
Stay on and beat Sandro and Jake and everyone else. I'm gonna change the whole thing and make it 100%. I'm gonna do twice as much stuff 3 times.
I'm going for 9. I'll go for 9. I don't know. 9 or 10, I'll be happy. 9, yeah, 9.
Yeah, I've done it in practice. Now I just have to do it when they call my name.
I'll get bumped out probably by Sandro or something. So, yeah, being first would be a lot of pressure, but I probably won't be.
The pressure is on in the prelims. Mike Crom is the #1 qualifier. Sandro Diaz, the #2 qualifier. Jake Brown out of Australia, the #3 qualifier. No surprises there. Rounding it out, Hendricks, Ogawa, and Dave Bodner ready to do battle for a gold medal out here and the right to represent the region at X Games 10 in LA. Bodner hadn't been on a ramp all year. This is his first week back on a vert ramp here in KL.
Keith, you feeling the intensity rise here in the arena? Everyone is fired up about this final, and they should be.
This place is energized, and these skaters are amped up. This is a big deal contest with some big deal skaters in it.
Well, for Dave Bodner, not skating a lot of vert as of late, man, he is looking really comfortable. Just putting together a nice 30 seconds so far of solid runs, or a solid run, I should say, just all over this ramp.
Well, Bodner using the entire ramp, gets up there on that tombstone extension.
How about it, just winding it down, and he had a good run, a good first run to get it underneath his belt.
Well, here's Dave Bodner flying high, getting that board back under his feet. As we mentioned, hadn't been on a vert ramp all year, and he's definitely dialing it in. After 1 of 3 runs, 76.33 points. Best of 3 45-second runs on a 100-point scale. You take home the gold, you're going to X Games 10 in LA. Neil Hendricks out of the US. He's been to the big show before. You know what? He wants that invite bad.
Certainly does, Keith. And you look at 2003, and that was a great year for Neil Hendricks. At X Games, he got a 2nd, and he got a 3rd medal in Los Angeles during the doubles competition. And here, he is putting together a really good run, flying way above the coping.
Takes it over the channel, big front side grab, and Hendricks taking it back in.
Yeah, Neil has just put together a solid run, and he told you, he said, you know what, I just want to stay on my board. So far he has done that, and Neil over the years has kept up with all the tricks and trying to get as many tricks in this 45 seconds as he can. So far he really has done a nice job. This should get him first place right now as we begin this competition.
Well, the #8 qualifier stepping it up large. Neil Hendricks stoked with that first run.
I'm happy. I could go home now. I don't care if everyone beats that score. I'm happy. That's the run I wanted to do, so I'm happy. There's never a perfect run, you know. There's always more tricks I want to do, and now I have to think of something to try maybe a little bit harder for run 2 and 3.
Well, he's got to be comfortable. He's sitting on top of the leaderboard right now and definitely has had a great day. Thomas Madsen out of Denmark starts from on top of that roll-in.
He said something Neil did very significant. You know what he said? I don't care what anybody else does. I'm happy with what I did. And that says it all for this sport of skateboarding. It's not about the competition of the guy standing next to you. It's about the competition with yourself.
And Thomas Madsen pretty happy with the competition that's going on within himself right now, putting together a solid ride in his first run.
You said it, Keith. This is so much better than his run in the prelims. He's using the entire ramp. He's getting higher out of the coping, and he's really changing up his tricks. Good luck to him, man. This is a good run.
He's also, you know, maybe keeping it a little bit conservative to stay consistent. He wants to post a good score on the board here in this first run.
I just think it's great that these guys can come back out of the prelims, have a great time in your first run, and skate well. and that's exactly what he did. Look how high he is on that air, off the coping, and then over the channel, the board slide. They make it look easy, folks. This is very, very hard stuff.
Thomas Madsen, 79 points, even launches him up into second place. You know he's stoked. And here comes the Brazilian pit bull, Sandro Dias. Always a favorite every time he takes it to the ramp. This is one of the most aggressive, high-flying skaters you will ever see.
You just have to sit back and watch this guy and know why he is on the top of his game. Look how high he goes out of the ramp, just throwing everything down.
Sandro is throwing down his signature style, flying high, alley-oop style, up and over the channel on that Shavetech skateboard. Get it, Sandro.
Keith, there's no question about it. If he stays on his board, he will have the highest score of the day because he's thrown in a multitude of tricks, landing on his tail, slapping it down. Just a fantastic ride by one of the best in the sport.
The best of 3 runs, and Sandro Dias is definitely raising the bar. Loses the board at the buzzer, but an awesome, awesome ride out of Sandro Dias. Got to be sitting in first place with that one. 90.33, he is on top.
Oh yeah, I told you. I'm ready for the finals better. I made a good run, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited for another run. I want some more. I'm gonna try different tricks. I'm gonna try different variation of 540s. I wanna see. I wanna wait for that. I'm so excited.
Well, Sandro Dias definitely gets amped up by the crowd in the contest. Mike Crum out of the U.S., 30 years old, starting out from the big roll-in, taking a lot of momentum into that first wall.
Great thing about Mike, he can skate switch almost as good as he can skate regular, and he's showing it to you right now. This guy flies around the ramp like nobody's business, a super technical rider. As he goes up, does a nice 50-50 setting up right here with the 540.
And Mike Crum coming into this contest, you know, he doesn't expect to beat Sandro Dias. Maybe he's taking a little bit of pressure off of himself, not focusing on beating Sandro, but just focusing on putting together his very best run, and that's going to be his best strategy in getting a good score on the board.
Well, technically, Mike Crum is probably a better skateboarder than Sandro Dias, but the thing about Sandro Dias, he goes higher out of the ramp with his technical tricks, and that marks high with the judges.
Well, Mike Crum going to be stoked with that ride right there. I think he did just about everything he wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm stoked. 3rd place, so I'm stoked. Yeah. Now I got it out of the way. Now I can go for it even more. I did a 540 that time. It's my first one on this ramp, so I'm stoked. So I'm just going to try to do more combo tricks. Like 540 and then a flip trick, you know, in a row. So I'm going to go for that.
So after 1 of 3 runs, Sandro Dias on top of the leaderboard. Neil Hendricks in 2nd, Crum in 3rd. It's Denmark's Thomas Madsen in 4th, and Australia's Dave Bodner in 5th. Rounding out that top 10, it's Jake Brown and Jenagawa. Stick around because we're coming back with more. Run 2 coming up from the vert ramp, and we'll get up close and personal with the Brazilian pit bull, Sandro Dias, when we come back.
I don't know, explain in English. Sometimes my English is... Let's go!
Spirit of challenge. Welcome back to the vert ramp for our skateboard vert finals. After 1 of 3 runs, Sandro Dias on top of the leaderboard. Neil Hendricks and Mike Crum in 2nd and 3rd. Denmark's Thomas Madsen in 4th place. Neil Hendricks, who has already put a solid run on the board, sitting securely in 2nd place. Going to try and put a little bit of pressure on the Brazilian pit bull.
And you know what? He's going to come in putting a little pressure on himself, too, because he said he wanted to have a great first run. He did, but I know this guy. He's a competitor within himself. He wants a better second run. And right now, this run is a little better, to be honest with you, because he's getting the higher out of the ramp and trying to add up the technical factor here.
Hendricks is definitely using up every inch of this ramp right here. Gonna rock it back in. Yeah, Neil.
Neil Hendricks has one of the most fluid styles. I always love watching him. And, you know, it's so fun watching him here with all these people because, again, as we say, he makes it look easy. And right now, the tricks he's doing, he's been practicing for years and years, perfecting them right now in 45 seconds. Keith, this is a fantastic showing by Neil Hendricks.
Oh, Hendricks stomping everything down perfectly. A perfect 45-second ride right here. Oh, misses on the last trick.
You know, I just think this is a better run. It was a little bit more intense, and I think that's the judges. They're going to see that, and all the different tricks he did, he amplified it. And take a look, it is.
He does improve on his own score. Still in second place, Glenn Charnoski, also making the trip from the U.S., needs 90.34 to take the lead away from Sandro Diaz. Something he came here thinking, you know, that's probably impossible for me to do. I'm going to come here, skate my best, and have a good time.
I love the extension, the invert off the extension, the use of that, really nice. I like his old school type skating.
I like his old school high top bands.
Yeah, this is just fantastic. So fun to watch these guys. And, you know, the main thing is that they have a good time. And as he flows through, I like the fact, too, that he's wearing pads on his elbows and his knees, let alone his head.
That's the sign of a veteran who has taken more than his fair share of slams. Getting inverted with a hand plant.
3 different inverts coming up on the ramp and over the channel, up on the tail with the coping. Nicely done.
That was a sweet transfer up over that channel to get to the tail slide.
Slapping it down, and again, the coping maneuvers, adding the tricks, the little finger flip with the tail, slapping down on the coping, and he had a good run.
Glenn Charnoski stoked on that, improving severely on his first score. And here comes Alessio da Silva out of Brazil. He's stoked, having a good day, all amped up. The crowd going off, supporting all these skaters. And here goes the Brazilian. Drop it in off the tombstone extension.
Keith, you know, been to so many events that you feed off the crowd. The energy off the crowd makes you just a little bit more intense and confident.
It's a vicious cycle, man. The crowd amps up the skaters raise their game, then the crowd gets even more amped up, and it just, you know, it's almost endless.
And it's kind of fun, too, watching the skaters in the background on the top of the ramp get as excited as the crowd because they know some of the tricks, obviously, and they know how hard it is for each skater to make it.
Da Silva doing a great job here in run number 2, keeping that board underneath his feet and gets hung up on the coping, can't bring it back in, but gets right back up there, comes back for redemption.
And you mentioned it, he does, and this run will be better than his first run. He made bigger tricks, went higher off the coping, used the entire ramp, and he does get a 70.67.
That's enough for 7th place right now. Sandro Diaz on top of that leaderboard. Hendricks in 2nd, Crum in 3rd.
I feel great after I won last year the WCS rankings, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like my dream come true, you know. It's pretty crazy. I'm so excited for that.
And there it is. 2 on 5. Edson.
There you go. Ask and ye shall receive.
Whoa, 360 out way out in the corner.
I see Brazilian flags flying around the table. Yes. Over the squat.
The same squat.
5 with it. I love it.
My dreams is since when I wake up every day, that's a dream for me because I try to be my day so good every day. It's like a dream. I love my life. My life for me is a dream. For me, skateboarding for me is everything. It's my family, it's my friends, it's my job, it's my fun, it's my therapy. Skateboard for me is good. It's everything. I love skateboard.
Tomorrow, the high-flying Yasutoko brothers lead the field in the inline vert prelims. Outside, the men sweat it out in the heat in the bouldering semifinals. Then we'll cool off in a world-class wakeboard venue as world-class wakeboarders ride for one of the top 8 spots in the wakeboard semifinals. And tomorrow, we'll also crown ourselves a champion in the Flatland final at the Asian X Games 6 presented by Toyota. Stick around, because when we come back, Sandro Diaz, the Brazilian pit bull, leads the charge in a heart-pounding conclusion to the skateboard vert final.
Welcome back to Stadium Putra. After 2 runs in the skateboard vert final, Sandro Diaz on top of the leaderboard. Americans Neil Hendricks and Mike Crum in second and third. Japan's Jenagawa currently sitting in 10th place, trying to improve on that second run score.
You got a chance to watch a lot of skaters go after him, and now you feel a little more comfortable. You've been up there on the ramp, you've had a couple runs, and now you just want to put it all together to go back home on a great day of skateboarding. And this looking high, look at the front side here, how high he got out of the coping.
You know, I don't care what level you skate at. The camaraderie is great up on the top of that vert deck, but you know what? It's a little bit intimidating because you are looking at the rock stars of the sport up there, all of them capable of pulling out gold medal runs.
That's right. Trying to do it here on this one. Look at the back foot coming off, a little squirrely in the transition, but pulls it off.
Kind of pumps his way through that transition to keep the board underneath him. And Agawa running out of time, trying to spin 5, can't quite hang on to it, but what do you say? Jenagawa doing a great job out here today.
Yeah, he got some nice air in this run, and I like his varial right there. Nicely done in the transition for a 70.33.
Consistently improving through his 3 runs. He moves up the leaderboard a little bit, bumping Trevor Ward down into 10th place right here. Trevor Ward gonna want to dig deep. He says, hey, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve I haven't shown yet. I'm gonna try and raise my game right here.
No doubt about it. Trevor, he did not have the 2 runs that he wanted, so he kind of loads up on this one, trying to get it done in the 3rd and final run for him. Chasing a big score by Sandro Diaz, and right now Trevor staying on the ramp, using the entire ramp. Fast. Oh, that's why you wear a helmet, man.
That is.
Oh, jeez. Little fatigue settling in too, and you love to see them get right back up. And here again with the rotation.
Well, that was a gnarly slam that Trevor took. 70 points even in 10th place. He's not going to be too happy with that. Jake Brown out of Australia, currently sitting in 6th. He starts out on the roll-in, and Jake is an aggressive skater who hits that ramp, attacking it. Double finger flip right there. That was insane.
Give me a break, Jake. You know, you're flying 6 feet off the coping here, just flying like it's nobody's business. Nice big spin moves. Jake feeling a good 50-50 for a transition right here, and watch how he pops right now in this frontside air. Boom. Oh,
check this out.
Oh, man. Right switch. He tried a big trick, tried to come back down and just couldn't pull it off, but that was nice.
That double finger flip was ridiculous, and Jake Brown not able to stick the 5, 79 points, even his best score of the day. He's sitting in 4th place. Sandro Diaz has the crowd behind him. He's already in 1st place, but Sandro Diaz trying to improve on his own game.
Sandro Diaz knows that, oh, is he going for the 900?
Yeah, this is just pretty much the glory run for Sandro Diaz right now. He's like, hey, I got the gold medal locked up. Let me see what I can do here. The crowd amping him up. Sandro Diaz pumping for 9s. Check this out. Oh, so close. Sandro Diaz coming about as close as you can get to sticking that 900. And this is reminiscent of the day that we saw Tony Hawk stick that first 9, Paul.
Nice hot July day, 1999, San Francisco, California.
Well, Sandro already claiming that gold medal, trying to stick that 9, came so close, can't believe he didn't make it.
The 900, I can't believe I didn't land it. Oh my God. I know it's pretty close, but I don't know what's happened when I put in the wall. I just fall, I don't know why. I think it's my mind. I have some block in my mind. I need to break the block. So happy to be here in the Asian X Games because it's my first time here, and I love this place, and I just want to thank you to the crowd. And the crowd helped me so much, and thank you very much.
Right on, Sandro. Congratulations on that gold medal. Hendricks and Crum showing up with a big day here in KL as well. Congratulations once again, Sandro Diaz. Getting a little celebration right there from the boys. And how close can you possibly get to sticking that 9? The crowd got behind him. Couldn't quite hit it, but a great effort, a great day of skateboarding on this vert ramp out of all the skaters in the field. For Paul Higgins, my name's Keith Allen. We're going to leave you with a couple of pictures of Sandra going for that 9, and we will see you next time at the X.